Hi, everybody. My name is Ntabiseng Wejana and I'm a spiritual medium. I'm very delighted to have you here joining me, and I hope that you can find something that is of benefit to you and your spiritual world. So today I am going to be doing a very quick one. It will be a certain how to. So it's not really a full on teaching, but it's a how to. I have been calling for people to send me their CVs because I've seen that on certain social media platforms, people have been saying, I'm looking for a job and I'm looking for a job. Now, with the effects of COVID, we understand what that means. We understand the depression. We understand that suddenly your livelihood changed completely and took 180 or a 360-degree turn, and suddenly people do not know who they are. And instead of them keeping up the hope and faith, they just do not know where to start and what to do. Then there are certain people who would say, Gogo, I've never had a job in my life. I've always had qualifications, or I came to this level of education and nothing has ever happened that I explore a path in my career. And so, um, obviously, with what we are going to be doing today, it does not take away anything. It does not take away from, you always need to understand your spiritual alignment. You always need to understand your spiritual identity. You always need to understand who your spiritual guides are. You always need to understand what are the spiritual blockages that make you unable to thrive in a certain area of your life, whether it's relationships, whether it's business, whether it's work, whether it's parenting, whether it's marriage, any other sphere of your life. You always need to have a spiritual insight on what is happening. And so now, healers are expensive. Let's be quite honest. Healers are expensive. Being a healer is a lot of work. It is an incredibly lot of work. It is tedious, it is emotional, it drags everything out of a healer. And therefore, when they are charging you the price that you would normally go and spend on a general practitioner or a specialist, because in their own right they have went through their own journey that qualifies them to be who they are. And when they are requesting for a certain amount of money, people want to gripe and want to get services for free. And now, what is going to be happening is that I am doing this one based on one, I'll be doing a certain live on a social media platform, and people will be saying, Gogo, I need a job. I do not know where to start. I do not have a consultation amount to come to you and you let me know what the problem is. And at a whim, suddenly I have to give a person a solution right on the spot. So the things that I am sharing with you today are things that have come to me, that are coming from my own ancestors, to say that I must share with people who quickly want to change their financial situation, especially with regards to a job. So I am just gonna give you, I think there are about three things that I'm going to be sharing with you. Some of the things that we are going to be using are interchangeable. So now you can use one or the other depending on depending on what your spirit says. Depending on what your spirit says. Right. So off the mark, we are going to be using fire. So I'm going to be using my dawa candle that I've been using. So there's a lot of things that I'm praying on this one. That's why I'm not bringing a new candle. Now, because you don't have a dawa candle, or if you do, that's very very great for you. If you don't and you can afford to purchase one, please do. Which is South African rands 280. But you can even use your normal white candle. But what I want you to know is that you are going to be using fire. So we are about the fire element, not necessarily about the wax and wicks, right? And we are going to need coarse salt. Coarse salt. So here I have my Himalayan salt. So you can have your own coarse salt at home, or you can even have your dawa bath salt if you do have it. Then you can have milk, right? So I have here my glass of milk, and this is any other milk: low fat milk, skim milk, goat milk, donkey milk, cow milk, lactose milk, whatever. I know I'm going to get those variation of questions if people can use what type of milk. So whatever fresh milk that you have, right? Not amasi, not fresh milk. This is really fresh milk straight out of a fridge. Even if it's not coming out of a fridge, it's fine. Then we are going to be using lemons, citrus, right? So you can use your lemon peels, or not lemon peels, lemon cuts. I don't speak chef. I don't speak cooking language. So there's a word. There's a word for these things. There's always a word for everything there at chef language. So because now with Chef T and the things that he keeps on making, yeah, he tries to drum these things in my head. They never stick. But cutouts. Can we say cutouts? Yeah. Or you can use lemon juice, but for the purpose of this teaching, because I wanted to have something tangible, something touchable, ne? And then we are also going to have snuff. You can have your own snuff at home, or if you have my dawa snuff, all the better, right? And then you are going to have a copy of your CV, so obviously this is not a copy of my CV. This is something else, because I've come to understand from you and my ancestors that you would actually be shocked if you found me hanging around with a CV and actually applying for a job, because I've realized that you do not want me to go back into corporate anything. And river water. If you have our dawa river water, all the better. If not, you can just go get river water. It is not a must, but I always prefer it. A river water or sea water So these are the things that we are going to have, and we are going to have isiwasho. Isiwasho. What is isiwasho in English? I do not know. But I'm sure there is a word that involves something to do with alkaline and refined ash. I think so. But you're going to find isiwasho called vula kuvaliwe. Vula kuvaliwe. It's an Nguni term which means open where it is closed. It is quite self-explanatory. And then I want you to have a white t-shirt. So I'm just going to use this white t-shirt, and you can use whatever white t-shirt that you have. So now I am doing this because there are certain things, or there are certain people who in their aura there is just a lot of muti involved in them, and some people are experiencing bad luck that has muti being imposed on you. And because most of you do not know how to use muti, do not know how to use herbs, what can you do? What can you use in order for you to find yourself being okay? There is one thing that I left out, which is holy ash. It's probably in the other place in the office on the other side. So holy ash, most of you will know holy ash. You get into any muti store and you say you want holy ash, you will see one of the rajas with one of the Indian deities there, and you get it for about 12 rands. If it's cheaper, 25 rands at the most. So you also must have holy ash. So I do not know what I will use instead of holy ash, but this is where you really take notes, or you save this video so that you can revisit it again. Now, there are many of you where your own DNA has been tampered with. From a very young age, you have been bewitched so that you cannot get to a certain level of thriving in your life. Now, if somebody has put a curse on you, the other day I did say it, if somebody has put a curse on you when you were 8 years old, or younger, or even 15 or whatever age, and they said, let Ntabi not find a job. Ntabi must not work in her life. Or Ntabi must always be frustrated and leave work. And so, what do you then do? So, here's somebody who's imposing a curse on you, where at that age, the curse will not go, it was not going to be effective because you are 8 years old, you are 15, you are 19, until you get to a certain age, maybe 20, 21, that's where it is common that people will be getting a job, right? So, somebody would then be saying, at that age, she must never. Now, what has been tainted on you? Something to do with your DNA. Somebody has put a spirit of limitation in your path, right? And perhaps they have went and used certain herbs, not just by their own verbal, not just sending you a verbal curse. Perhaps they have used muti, and all your life they've been sustaining this curse with muti, because any other thing that you do in spirit, you must also maintain it and sustain it, right? So let's say all of your life this person has been putting some more muti on you that you can never flourish, and therefore this is where the white t-shirt comes in. You can use any other bright color. You can use any other bright color, your white, your cream white, your light grayish, right? But do not use your darks. Don't use your red. Don't use your black. You don't use your navy blue. Just try to find something as light, right? As light as this color. I'm not showing you the front because it's printed. Then you're going to say, Coco, yours has black. No, no, no. It's the only one that I can find. All my whites are somewhere in the laundry. So find a white. I'm showing you this part because I want a white t-shirt. What you're going to be doing with this white t-shirt, you will wear it. You will wear it for about 2 hours before you are going to burn it. You wear it so that your entire sweat, your DNA, your everything gets to be marinated in this white t-shirt, right? Therefore, you have it as a white t-shirt. Now it's dirty because you have worn it. It has your entire DNA in it, right? And now we are trying to reverse anything that has ever been said against you in your life. We are going to be reversing it, right? And now what you are going to do, you will take fire, you will light up a fire. Ooh, the wax is spilling all over me, dear Lord Jesus. As a candle maker, I never quite get used to the burning sensation of wax. Have you ever gotten that food wax thing, and then you have to dip your feet in wax so that they are soft and supple? Yo, hey, hey, Susan childbirth. So anyway, so you're going to have your fire, ne? The reason why I'm showing you a candle is because I wanted the fire element. Now, the fire element, what does fire do in spirit? Fire purifies, fire heals, ne? Fire also symbolizes life. Now, how do you know that a person is no longer alive? They are cold. How do you know that they are alive? They are warm. And so that is the significance of why we use fire to refine certain curses, to reverse, to purify certain things in spirit. That is the essence. Now, you are going to take the t-shirt and you are going to burn it. Burn it. Burn the t-shirt down to ashes, the entire t-shirt. As it is burning, while the fire is consuming the t-shirt, you are going to be speaking and reversing each and every spirit of limitation. A spirit of limitation is a curse, anything that limits you to go ahead in your life. So you're going to be speaking about but here we are doing it for the purpose of a job, right? But you can do it for the purpose of anything else in your life. If it's a curse for marriage, that you should not get married, that you should always be rejected, that any other thing that is bothering your life and is causing a pattern in your life, which is how you identify a curse. If you've been in one situation with different people, but it just seems like you are just changing in Tabi's face to get mathas, to get bulanis, to get bolenas, but every other time you are just having a certain common thing with different people, that you know that there's a curse, that there's a spirit of limitation in your life. Now, what do? You take the ash from the band t-shirt, and now it has produced ash. You take that ash, you are going to mix it with your isiwasho called vulakuvaliwene. Don't go and insist that you want a pink one. It comes in variations of colors depending on the supplier of that spiritual chemist that you went to, right? So the traditional chemist that you went to, depending on what they are saying, now you are going to get vulakuvalue. Any color is okay. Do not be color pair. Don't obsess about color. Don't be pedantic about color. So any color is fine. Then you're going to be mixing the ash of the t-shirt, the bent t-shirt. You are going to be taking vulakuvaliwe isiwasho, right? Open where it's closed, because now you are wanting this herb to go and assess what the spiritual issue is. So you do not know. Then now you are sending the herb to go and assess wherever something has been closed, then it can now open it. And then, so you are, let's say you are going to put everything else in here, the ash of the t-shirt, this is now the ash of the t-shirt in here, the isiwasho vulakuvaliwe, don't be pedantic. 3-4 teaspoons, 5 teaspoons, it's okay, depending on how much of a container you have, right? So just do your maths, right? And then you are going to also, remember now it's becoming in a paste, it's becoming all powdery. Then you are going to pour milk, depending on how much of this thing you are going to be using, depending on how big your container is. Then you will pour in the milk. I don't want to use it now because I'm going to use it for something else. And then you are going to mix it, and every day in your bath water, use this as a paste. Right. Now, if you highly believe that there is something that was done against your own identity, either it was done to your ID or it was done to your qualifications, we discover many times that you've passed matric and some uncle comes in and they want to show Malume that you have passed, right? Malume knows that everybody in the country today, they got their matric results, their grade 12 results. Then Malume comes to you with sticky fingers. Sticky fingers, get it? Yes. And then Malume has something in him, or just the sticky fingers, and he's like, oh, I'm Chana. Congratulations on your... Then there's something that Malume has said or is doing on your paper, right, on your matric certificate, and you will never get a job all your life, or you'll get frustrating job, or you'll get not so good paying jobs. Other people will be graded a certain level, and when you will be graded very lowly. So be careful. Now, if you really absolutely believe that either your ID, your driver's license, your qualification itself, or the CV, or the matric certificate, or whatever it is that is related to this is a bundle of me applying for a job, even if you are applying electronically, spirit does not sense medium, right? This is why I get very angry when I say to people, don't give people money, and they said, but Coco, it's an EFT. Spirit does not sense a channel. Spirit is spirit. So if you are going to be sending out your CV electronically, have a printout of this bundle. What is this bundle? It is your driver's license, it has your qualification, it has your matric certificate, it has the CV itself. Then you can also burn it alongside with the t-shirt, and then you get the ash from it, right? You get the ash from it, and then you put this in your bath water every day, once a day in your bath water, even if it's soap. I say soap because I sell you soap to bath with, and I trust in the muti more than I trust in whether Dove or or any other manufacturer of a beauty company is much more powerful than the herb I'm using, or my faith in it. So I say it's okay. I know I'm gonna be very unpopular with very traditional healers, very traditional healers. So that's one. The second thing that you can do is you can have your lemons, you can have your milk, right? And you can also have your coarse salt in your bath water and ask for the job, because now we are just really purifying your aura. To that one, I really want you to burn the CV and get the ash of it, right? So now you'll be having this, that, milk, and you'll be having this. What is the purpose of the milk? Is so that you can have it into a paste, and you can just put it in a container, so that every time you are bathing, you can just pour it. Don't obsess over it all the time. And when you are bathing, you must speak to, I need the job, whatever that is for me, a job that will be rewarding for me, a job where I'm going to be well placed in, that has a lot to do with my purpose. Can I please be granted that job? Now, the other one where you can use this one, is again, you have your CV, you burn your CV, then you have the ash of the CV. You are going to mix the ash of the CV, what comes out of the burnt papers, you are going to mix it with, again, coarse salt and snuff. I really do not know why, but I do not know why this combination works, right? On its own, I don't understand why this combination works, but it has been working for a couple of people, and people have been thriving and getting international interviews and getting international jobs. But the coarse salt on its own, it purifies all negative energy. It wipes clean any other slate. Whatever a person puts in and somebody puts coarse salt, it what will happen is what the other person who put coarse salt says. Equally so, this is the reason why if somebody had poured muti all over your yard, ne, and you come in and you put coarse salt, then you nullify the muti. Equally so, if I send you a herb, if I say, let's pretend this is a herb. If I send you any other muti, any other peko, any other herb, and I put it just next to the coarse salt, you know what the coarse salt will do? It will absorb the herb, and this will just remain a tree. Just remain any other thing. It will not do what normally that herb should have done for you. So the third one, so the last one, what you're going to do? Snuff and salt. Snuff is a conduit to talk to ancestors, and that's why on its own it is trusted by many of us, and it will work. And most importantly, it has the earth element to it, which we spoke about the last time, right? And so now the river water, if you don't have river water, then go buy sea water. Make sure that it is really sea water. I know a couple of these chemists, they will just sell you any other water and just put excessive salt in it, and it is not really sea water. It has to have the sand. It has to have the sand underneath, and then you have the sea water, right? If you don't have your river water. If you have your river water, that's good. Then you always put it in your bath water. People would say, but Coco, I use a shower. Be creative. I can't tell everybody that you must put the mixture into the bucket and let it flow down. Let it flow down. And that on its own is what we have been discussing. What I also want to teach you is it's about the citrus, the lemon element, and charcoal. You know this charcoal where young people are using it for happily. Some of you, even though you are not young, you're using it for happily because happily has no age restriction. Yeah, charcoal. Any kind of a charcoal, even that one for a bright stand. If you use charcoal and you right, get the remnants of charcoal, whether you're going to be grating it or chopping it or even beating it, anyhow you want to grind it, and you get that charcoal and you mix it with your citrus, either your orange or your lemons, right? And then you bath with. That takes out all kinds of curses and bad luck on you. Yeah, that's what we charge you, thousands of money for cleansing at the river and other things. Like I said, we do not take away from you consulting at all, but I'm just saying these are quite some of the basic things that you can do to keep your aura palatable enough, especially if you want to have a job. Speak to it. If you want a promotion, please may you go ahead and may you prosper. I am Tabiseng Wachana, and I am a spiritual medium. Specifically, why the teaching? Don't want you to get your wires crossed. This is for other people who muti has been used all their lives. So now sometimes to use muti on somebody who's been over mutied, it really does not work. There are certain people where other people are putting curses on you. They will say no mountain healing, no river healing, no underwater healing, no nothing, any of the elements, any of the natural elements should be liberating this person from this curse. And that is why now we are using your beautiful refined groceries to help you to prosper. Thank you again. May you be blessed. Bye bye.